Man United's preseason tour comes to an end. 2-2 final score at the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Atlanta between United and Everton. And like I said, it comes to an end this preseason tour, and Man United win the Premier League Summer Series 2025. Now, as I always say, when it comes to preseason, results don't really matter like that. I'm more interested in the fitness, and I'm more interested in how we play and how the players get on, how the players progress, etc., etc. And the big question is, are Manchester United ready for the season 25-26? And the answer is, I'm in two minds about it. I want to say yes, but I also want to say no. In the stuff that I've seen in the three games, Everton, Bournemouth, and West Ham, I've seen some good stuff, and I've seen some stuff where I'm questioning stuff a little bit. And I know I said stuff a lot of times, but anyway. Yes and no. I'm in two minds about it. I'm not quite sure if I want to say yes, 100% Man United are ready for the new season, because there's still stuff that needs to be addressed. I think the thing that stood out to me in these three games is that the players look fit. When it comes to fitness, I think there's no doubt about it. The players look fitter than, they definitely look fitter than last season, that's for sure. And they definitely look like it definitely looks like there's a bit more urgency and there's a bit more desire to play well. Like, they really want to play well. But wanting to play well and actually playing well are two different things. So you have to consider these things. I thought in the first half we were better than we were in the second half. Again, I have to say, the fitness levels are up there. Iraola, Bournemouth's manager, came out in their game or after their game, and he mentioned that physically, Man United are up there with the best. But for me, that's not enough. You can be physically the strongest and physically you can be fit and all of that, but if you can't play football properly, all of that physicality and aggression goes out the window for me, and it doesn't really interest me anymore. Like I said, the first half I thought we were actually good. I think we weren't bad at all. In the second half, I thought the levels went down a little bit with the changes that happened as well. And you can clearly see which is our first team and which is our second team. You can clearly see that. You can clearly see who's more inclined to be starting on that first match day against Arsenal and who's more inclined to be on the bench. So that's that. Let me start with a few positives. And I have to look at the lineup to, bring out a few names. Lenny Euro, Amad Diallo, Brian Bumo, and Mateus Cunha. I liked what I saw. I really liked what I saw today. One thing I'll give Man United credit for in the way we played today was in transition, we are absolutely firing because everything goes quick. And sometimes, not just in transition as well, sometimes it's like the midfielders were trying to lure Everton's midfield into their own half, and then they would play one pass that would split Everton's midfield completely open, and then you have this infinite amount of options for Bruno Fernandes or whoever's carrying the ball, through the middle of the park, and then try and see if there's options on the left and on the right. That's one thing I like today. On the break, but that's just a trademark Man United thing. Man United on the break, that's cash money, no matter who's the manager. So that's something that I really liked. I think in transition and sometimes when we won the ball back, it was literally bang, 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 quick passes, very precise and very quick, and trying to get forward as quick as we could. That's something I really liked. And I'll be honest, the positives probably stop there. We have to talk about the midfield. We have to talk about the midfield, and that's one area Man United need to address ASAP. And I tweeted it out during the game, and I said, actually at halftime, I said, one thing I'll never shut up about is the importance of a competent ball carrier and a good passer in midfield. That is vital, especially with the way Amarim wants to play. You need someone in midfield that's going to be able to pass a ball properly. Pass the ball properly. Listen, when it comes to Manuel Ugarte, I think I've made it clear from the beginning I'm not the biggest fan of Ugarte. He's not my cup of tea. There's a reason why PSG got rid of him. He's a good destroyer, but when it comes to progressing the ball forward, I don't think he's it, man. And people are going to probably throw this stat at me from last season when they say Ugarte won this many balls back. Fair play, but he's winning the balls back that he's losing. So make of that information whatever you want. The first goal that we concede is because of him, and there's countless more times, I think 2 or 3 more times in the second half where he just loses the ball, so careless on the ball, man. He tried to carry the ball from his own half, tried to progress it forward, but because he's not good on the ball, that was the first half, the first goal that we conceded. Jai was the one that scored. Because he's not competent on the ball, because he's not a good ball carrier, and because he's not a good passer, he gets dispossessed. Everton put in a cross, and I think it was Ghana, if I'm not wrong. Ghana puts in a cross, and yeah, Njai was there to finish. So that first goal was solely on him. So we need competent midfielders that are able to pass. That midfield today was an absolute kamikaze. It was grenade football that was being played in that midfield. Apart from Kobe, who looked semi-decent with his passing, and he's someone that I trust to pass the ball properly, it just looks all over the place, man. Bruno tried to play all his Hollywood passes over the top all the time. I don't know if he was told that, but it did not look good. Yeah, the midfield needs to be addressed ASAP. I don't know who Man United are going to get. I don't know who they're looking at in the market, but you've got scouts. Let the scouts do their job properly. You've got about a month left to get someone in competent. And when I say competent, I mean competent. We've not had a good passer of the ball in midfield for so long, and I'm tired of these grenade footballers that treat the football like it's I don't want to say the word because I might get demonetized, but they treat the ball like it's something else. Like they want to get rid of it as soon as they get it, instead of just holding on to it, looking at your options. And I know sometimes, yes, in the Premier League, the tempo's quite quick, but we've seen countless midfielders come into the Premier League and slow the tempo down. We need someone that can dictate our midfield. Because Bruno can't do it, Ugarte can't do it, Casemiro can't do it, Kobe can do it, but he can't do it by himself. So that would be my concern. You know, that would be my concern. Um, yeah, I'm in two minds about this game. Like you can probably tell by the way I'm talking and by my facial expression and by my reaction. I'm really in two minds about this, and I'm not sure that this way of playing is going to work against Arsenal. I don't know how long we can keep this up for. Like I said, the fitness levels look good, but how long can we keep this up for in a game? Do you see what I'm saying? Um, I want to reiterate the positives again. Cunha, Bumo, Ahmad, and Euro for me were some of the best players on the pitch. The late looked as solid as ever. But let's talk about the new boy, Brian Bumo. I thought Brian Bumo had a good debut. It was a good debut. I know he can do way better than that, but I thought it was a good debut against a good Everton side. I thought his touches were very neat. I thought the way he tried to combine with Cunha and the way he tried to combine with Ahmad was really good. You could tell they were looking for each other. You can tell they tried to combine going forward. You could tell the blistering pace going forward. Sometimes some of the touches didn't quite come off, but I thought it was quite solid. I thought it was a quite solid beginning. Obviously, only played 45, 50 minutes. You know, it will come. It will come. And I've got no doubts that Mbeumo will be a success at Man United. But he showed different. He showed different sides of him. Sorry, we seen him take a free kick, a direct one. We seen him take a free kick as a set piece. It was refreshing to see that. Usually we see Bruno on everything, but now, we're seeing Bumo on stuff as well because he's got a good delivery of the ball. So it was okay to see that. It was kind of refreshing to see it. But yeah, some of these positions need to be addressed. I do think with a striker coming in, it would probably give Cunha and Boomer a bit more freedom in terms of their positioning, because today they were kind of alternating and changing. Sometimes one would go to the left and then the other would go to the right, and then they would switch and then someone would play out front. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but I think with a focal point there, I think it would really help Mbumo to, maybe stay on that right, and then Cunha to stay on that left, because today, like I said, they were really interchanging, which wasn't bad at all. So I do think, the striker situation needs to be sorted out as soon as possible, and the goalkeeper situation should be addressed as well. But as much as I would like Onana to be, well, he's not leaving the club, but as much as I would like Man United to bring in a keeper, which they may do, in Senna Lammens from Antwerp, I do think the midfield is a massive, massive priority. Massive priority, because I think you guys know my takes on Bruno. I don't think I have to sit here and repeat it all the time. And today we saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like literally, we saw the good, we saw the bad, and we saw the ugly. I'm not a fan of our captain being so erratic and sometimes losing his marbles, which happened today again. I don't know why he tried to put in those tackles on Ndiaye, and then they ended up pushing each other. And while they were pushing each other, on the other end, we conceded a goal. These are not things a captain should be doing. You should be able to keep your calm, stay level-headed, stay cool, calm, collected, and not be lured into, being pushed around him. You push him and he pushes you. And no, especially not in preseason. Like, it's still way too easy for Bruno to lose his head. And we all know that when he loses his head, his whole game's out the window. He might as well not play anymore, because he's not focused on footballing anymore. Or he's not focused on playing football anymore when he gets angry or when he's frustrated. Doesn't do that anymore. So, yeah, there's still a lot of things to improve. I'm not going to lie. And I can't sit here with certitude and tell you, I can't sit here for certain and tell you we're going to beat Arsenal on the first match day of the Premier League. We can do, but I don't know if we actually will. Arsenal have their own stuff and their own issues they need to take care of. But yeah, I'm in two minds about this game. Like I said, the scoreline doesn't really matter to me. I'm more concerned about how we're going to do things moving forward, and how the football is going to be played moving forward. And right now, and I'm looking at the brand of football, and I'm going, okay, Amram, I can see what you're trying to do, but you need to bring in the right profiles. The right profiles have to come to the club, and it doesn't help when you got someone like Rasmus Højlund still at the club talking about he wants to fight for his spot and whatnot, when clearly the club are trying to get rid of him. The club are trying to get rid of him so much that they're offering him. And I read today that they offered him to Frankfurt when they inquired for Ekatike. Now the club is offering him to Leipzig, because the interest in Sesko is there. Clearly, the club is trying to get rid of you. What are you still trying to force, talking about you want to stay at the club and fight for your spot? Well, I'm sorry, but when I went to Sweden and I was in a mixed zone and players were walking past and stopping to give interviews, shout out to Ahmad, shout out to Lenny Euro who spoke to me, you walked past everyone, and when journalists and people in the mixed zone were shouting your name to talk to you, you said, sorry guys, not today. But now all of a sudden, you hear that a new striker's coming in. You go into the mixed zone over in America in the US tour, and all of a sudden it's, does anyone want to talk to me? Strange. Very strange. I'm not trying to insinuate stuff, but I just think it's very, very strange. And the one platform that you talk to is the same platform that you talk to, that people had an issue with, and that the club had an issue with, and that your teammates had an issue with. It's the same platform that you talk to, ironically. I'm just saying. So, a lot of stuff still needs to happen, man. We still need to make some sales. Garnacho, Sancho, Anthony, who else? Malacia. So there's still some movement to happen at the club. And yeah, man, listen, the players are going to come back now. We got one preseason game left at Old Trafford, which I'm going to attend, hopefully, against Fiorentina. And the week after, the Premier League starts, and it will be a cracking game against Arsenal. So we need to be ready for that, And I think the game against Fiorentina, I think I would have preferred another Premier League side, but the game against Fiorentina will tell us if we are really ready, you know. So yeah, listen, it is what it is. We move. Still a lot of work to do, but it's not like we got more friendlies coming because the Premier League starts in 2 weeks' time. So listen, shout out to everyone tuning in, showing love and support. Like, share, comment, subscribe, people. You know what to do. It's road to 20K, closing in on 18. My man of the match, I would say. Who am I going to pick? Man of the match. I'd probably say Lenny Euro. I thought Euro was very solid today, so I'll probably say Lenny Euro. Let me know your man of the match in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, people, and I will see you very soon. Peace.